Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I want to talk very quickly about something where it appears that people are getting away with things. I believe I've done a video like this before. People are never getting away. They are not getting away. It appears that they are. Before God's judgment or wrath, or before someone's final end on this planet, you'll see that they would have been living for many years. They lived for several decades. For those that don't know, a decade is 10 years. I'm not being facetious, but I have to think we're all different. They're different people, different walks of life and understanding. So I take the time to break down everything. The people that's lived for a long time, they're people that you know, they may be wealthy and they do things and get away with it. They may not be wealthy and they get away with a lot of things. You're like, when are these people going to learn? When is something going to happen? When are they going to learn their lessons? When are they going to stop behaving this way? But no one gets away. I was looking at something the other day and was someone that was famous and they got into trouble. And apparently this person is like a brawler, they like to fight or whatever, and they're famous, but there's still this thing within them that they just fight, attack people, or pay other people to beat up other people, whatever. And charges were filed against the person, and for setting up somebody to get beat up and assaulted, nothing happened. They got a very, very, well, something did happen, but the sentence was so light compared to the actual attack. It was light, super, super light. I'm going to say it's not even a month. They're not going to go to jail. Okay. It's going to be for the crime. Oh, it was light. And there are a lot of people who were outraged about it and who was upset about it. But I wasn't upset because there's something that I remember the Lord told me a long time ago. No one gets away. People are given an opportunity. If you imagine at the very end of a path, there's a guillotine. At the very end, there's a specific path. You can stay on this path. That's going to lead to the guillotine at the end that the person cannot see. Guillotine, chop that head off. Or there's another path you can take where you will not be destroyed. Well, on that path toward the guillotine, there's going to be a lot of warnings, a lot of things that's going to happen to stop that person, to stop people. There's going to be things to make you think. Near-death experience, maybe even go to jail. Maybe you got a charge. And these ticks, these moments, there should be a lesson that's learned, and there should be something that they should be getting. Stop doing what you're doing, but they'll keep progressing to the next thing. And they'll get another warning. Something happens. Maybe this time they go to jail for longer than they went the first time. They should learn. There should be a moment of reflection here, but they'll get out and keep on going closer. And there is the guillotine at the very end of this path. They won't get off this path. They may be given opportunities. They may be given money. They may be given fame, wealth, education, a family, all these things to make them think. Their womb may be blessed. They may have a child. They become a father. They have children who love them. They have family who love them, but they stay on this path. You think that would make them want to get off that path that with a guillotine on the end and get on the path that's going to lead in a different direction of peace and happiness and joy and everlasting life. No, they don't want that, because at the core of them, there is darkness. That's why you'll see celebrities. That's why you see people who are wealthy still do things they don't need to do. Why are you stealing if you're already rich? Why do you have such a nasty attitude? You have all this power. Why are you still raping women when literally women are throwing themselves at you? Something at the core of their nature. So they keep going down the path, and they may stay on this path however long they live, 40, 50, 60. They just keep going until they hit destruction. But all along, there were all these things to stop them, events that would have happened. Sometimes that guillotine will be not necessarily death all the time. It could just mean that person will end up losing everything. That person will end up being convicted and going to prison for a very long time. Someone close to them, they can lose someone because of their choices. It could be a lot of different things. They can end up in a wheelchair, end up on the streets, end up homeless, end up on drugs, or death. That can happen. A person that overdoses on drugs by accident, they would have been taking it and shooting up for a long time. And those are all their opportunities. They probably got sick, different things. They could have just stopped, but no, they keep going. A lot of times that habit and that thing that a person continues to do, that's the thing that's going to destroy them because they strengthen it. They continue to do it. A violent person eventually ends up getting killed, dying. That's just what happens because violence, as they continue doing it and it grows and it gets worse, they've been doing it for years, they've been getting away, they may have got shot before, they may have got cut before. These are all the little, as I said, the things that should make them think. You got cut, you got stabbed, you were in the hospital, you almost died, you were beaten to death, almost beaten to death. And this should be a moment where they stop and think. But they don't. They keep going till they get to the very end. They get killed. I saw something where someone lost their life. Another thing in New York City, going into the corner store, the bodega, as we call them. The guy doesn't say thank you. The guy holds the door open for another guy. The guy just walked in, doesn't say thank you. The victim that ends up dying, oh, you didn't say thank you, whatever. They end up arguing about that. The guy that held the door died. Okay? So, should the guy that went in have said thanks? Yes. But if he doesn't say thank you, is that enough for you to lose your life? No. But what happens, guys, anger. The victim who ended up dying, his anger got to him. Because that's what it is. If someone does not respond, or you hold the door open for the guy and the guy doesn't say thank you, that's not a big deal. It's rude, but it's not a big deal. Like, all right, But he goes to argue with him. That is anger. This is a person that can't let little things go. And so you have to understand that that was probably not that person's first time doing that. Kind of like another girl I told you that died in New York. She was just going off. The guy is trying to leave. She's pushing him, talking. Her friends are pulling her. These are all her check marks, right? These are all her opportunities before the guillotine falls. The guy's trying to leave. She's pushing him back. They have her on camera doing that. And she's bop, 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 moving her head, da-da-da-da-da, doing all of that. Her friends are pulling her, trying to stop her. That's a checkpoint. That's an opportunity. Stop, stop, stop. No. She's in her rage. You can tell this is what she does. She's probably always been popping off, doing whatever, saying da-da-da-da. Get away with it, right? Boom. Not today. The guillotine was going to fall. But she's not going to get hurt. She's not going to get cussed out. It's not going to be a fight this time. This time, she's going to pay with her life. So you have to look, whether it's your everyday guy, everyday girl, kid, whatever, child, celebrity. You keep doing a person that continues to do certain things. There's certain checks and balances and checkpoints. They're going to get every opportunity because hell is a long time. Darkness, utter darkness, where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. No one that goes there or gets there will ever say, I didn't get a chance. So when you see people that they keep getting out of things and keep getting out of things, they're not getting away with anything. That's a check. Okay. That's a checkpoint. Did you learn your lesson yet? No? Okay, they're going to do something else. Another checkpoint. There's certain checkpoints before you hit utter destruction, darkness, death, loss, whatever it may be, calamity. It's checkpoints. So when you see someone, they've been exposed, they keep lying, they keep getting away, they're at a checkpoint. It's up to them if they're going to change. They're going to see the error of their ways. No, you see them again in another scandal, something else they did. Next checkpoint. All these checkpoints, that's going to take you right to that guillotine in the end. So when you see celebrities that just keeps getting out of prison and jail and stuff, and they're laughing and walking out the courtrooms and whatever, you're like, again, you in trouble again? That's a checkpoint. Drunk drivers, people before they die, and it's going to be their final run, you'll see there would have been a bunch of checkpoints before. DUIs, getting in trouble, going to classes, getting their license revoked, checkpoints. A person that lies all the time, keeps doing wrong, keeps getting caught up, sleeping around with a bunch of men and women, breaking people's heart, breaking men's heart, breaking women's heart, taking their money. People that saying it don't matter, get that money, get that bag, get that cash. End up being dismembered and put in a suitcase. How many checkpoints before that happened? Because that's happened. There's a new demographic, a different demographic of women that's encouraging the young girls, go out there, take that money, I don't care, blah, blah. And there's people that follow that, being dismembered and put in a suitcase. Checkpoint before that point, before destruction. Not listening to your parents. Parents are telling you this, telling you that. Just, you have young women out there not listening to their mom, not listening to their dads, running around with certain people. Messing around with an older man. Parents are warning you. Boy, keep sneaking out, doing this, sneaking out, doing that, doing what you're cursing your parents. That a checkpoint. That leads to what? Something tragic happening. Those teenagers that went out and stole a woman's car and her arm was caught in the seatbelt and they drove her and dragged her while she's screaming in the car and till her arm came off and she bled out and died. Checkpoints. These children have been doing things before, as it would later come out. So, each and every one of us, we have the opportunity to get off that path that's going to lead to destruction. Get on the right path with the Lord. Get right. Stop doing what you're doing. Then, of course, we have the quiet ones. Let's get with the ones that you don't see anything that they do. They're very sneaky. They're passive aggressive. They think evil. They do things. There's a group of people. They're very evil, but they don't look it. All their sins, if you can just open up their mind and look what's in there, you'll be horrified. They think things. They get happy about things. These are individuals that will hide important documents when you need it. They'll just be right there in your house doing all types of things. Throw your pills away, watch you looking for it. They take pleasure internally in seeing you confused. They enjoy putting you on edge. They move the car keys. You're looking for your car keys. They just let you watch you, trying to help you find it. And they know that they're the ones that moved it. Get a little pen and put a little mark on your suit. Cut the edge of your shirt in the closet. Sit there and imagine evil things and be happy about it. These kind of people exist. And they're at their own little checkpoints. The thing with them is, because they're so good at it and so manipulating, you really can't catch them, but you just know there's something off about them. So these individuals will always be getting warnings in some way. A lot of them with their conscience. This is wrong. This is wrong. They're at this checkpoint. They just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. They get warnings from God. God would talk to them. Checkpoint, checkpoint. A lot of times what end up happening to these type of people is sometimes when you are a wicked person or a person is wicked and evil and do this, they'll end up getting sick. Now, let me be clear, because some of us, I've been to the hospital, I've had surgeries before, got sick. Not everyone who gets sick is because you've sinned and done something wrong. I mean, what did Job do? Okay? But I'm talking about these individuals that are just habitually and consistently wicked and evil. They just do the stuff. And someone may discern and pick up on them and tell them something and try to get them on the right path, but they're rejected. So they'll keep doing it. A lot of times something will happen to them. Something will happen to these kinds of people because they're so manipulating. They can get sick. They can get some sort of illness because they're wicked in their heart. People understand sin and wickedness, and that level, it does something to you. Something terrible could happen to them. You know, the Bible talks about the pestilence that walks by night, run right into somebody that does something horrible to them. They disappear. They can be victims of different things because the implosive, wicked person, even though nobody knows what they're doing or they're hard to pinpoint, there's an unseen audience that knows exactly what they do. And that's worse than anybody else knowing what these individuals are doing, because they're still opening up the door to darkness and setting up themselves for destruction. But before they get to that point, they'll build these checkpoints, 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 checkpoints. See what I'm saying? I hope everyone's understanding what I'm saying so far. So check yourself, check your life. And also when you see other people that's getting out of jail and getting out of prison, not being charged and being slapped on the wrist. A lot of these celebrities out here, they have a big tab in eternity because they do things in this life and they're getting away with it and nothing is happening because they're protected and because of who they know. But they can't get away from God. And honestly, a lot of times they're so rich and famous that they are forgetting that when they die, they're going to leave everything back here and they're going to enter into eternity as just a plain old soul with a tab. People in your family, people in your community, individuals that seem to be getting away. You may have someone in your ministry, your family, that no matter what, they keep getting away with things. It seems like nothing is happening. You are on the outside for speaking up about it. But nobody's getting away with anything. They're just at a checkpoint. Are they going to learn? Are they going to turn away from their ways? Are they going to be obedient to God or not? So next time you see that celebrity walking out of the courtrooms as if nothing is happening, they're at a checkpoint. The next time someone at your job continues to do the same thing, they're getting away with everything at the workplace, things that you're not getting away with, just realize they're at a checkpoint. Next time that family member or that person, as they continue to do certain things, they apologize and then they don't apologize, or they don't apologize at all and they continue to stir up strife and contentions. And something happens. They got away with it. They still don't change. That was a checkpoint. Because no one gets away with anything. You may never see it. They may live to be 102. In the eyes of humans, we go, that was a long time. But in the eyes of God, it's not a long time. It's not a long time. Not at all. It's going to give you a person every opportunity. Because if a person should pass and they end up in utter darkness, nobody is going to be able to say, God, you did not give me a chance. God, you did not allow me an opportunity to turn around. Lord, you took me right away. That guy, you lived to be 102 and you were still unchanged. Because people get old, but they still that same person inside. It's just that the gray hair and the wrinkles give them this innocent look, but in their heart, they're still wicked. They're still evil. They still think the same way. They never change. No one will be without excuse. But every individual is going to be at a checkpoint. You can turn away, or you keep going on to that final destruction that's going to meet anyone. Anyone who disobeys God is going to meet them at the end. All right, guys. Hope this makes sense.